baseball. Back to football, where it's time to play a little game of would or would not, draft edition. D. Wood, let's do some of these quickly here. The New York Giants pick at number 5. If I tell you they need to take the best defensive player on the board, you say you would or would not do it?
Greeny, I would. Listen, this is John Harbaugh's, first draft, wants to make an impact. And what better way than going out and getting a premier defensive player? It's an organization that's been known for its defense. So going out there and making a statement with your first pick, absolutely. Sonny
Styles, Caleb Downs, one of those kind of Ohio State guys. Speaking of defensive players, D. Wood, how about the Browns trading Myles Garrett before this draft? Would or would not?
Oh, would. I would have done this last year. Listen, the greatness of Myles Garrett, it's just a shame that we haven't seen him on a winning team. But if you're the Cleveland Browns, you're not going anywhere until you solve the quarterback position. And your greatest asset is Myles Garrett. I mean, he would recoup a bounty, in a trade. So that's the move I would make if I was a Cleveland Browns.
And then let's finish it up in that same division once and for all. We don't know what Aaron Rodgers is doing. If you're the Steelers, would you or would you not draft the quarterback in round 1?
Yeah, I would. And I know that the person we're talking about here is Ty Simpson. And if you're the Steelers, man, you got to keep taking swings at the bat until you find your solution at the quarterback position. Even if Aaron Rodgers come back, to me, I would still go with the quarterback. Let the guy sit behind Aaron Rodgers and learn what Mike McCarthy is as the head coach. And I think that would be a pretty doggone good situation for a rookie to come into.
Mike Tannenbaum was vigorously nodding as you were saying that. And it leads me to this sneaky big news in case you missed it yesterday. The Arizona Cardinals, on the final day of teams' pre-draft official visits, hosted Ty Simpson. So that's where Ty Simpson, the big question in this entire first round, spent the final day he could be anywhere. He was in Arizona. What does that mean, Mike T?
If we were running the Pittsburgh Steelers, we have to be acutely aware that the Arizona Cardinals are very much in play to draft Ty Simpson at some point in the first round.
Which means, A, they could be trading it to the back end of the first round, or B, what I think Mike T is implying is that maybe if they get nervous that Pittsburgh could pull the trigger at 21, Arizona might think of moving up even higher than that?
They might, but it's a big trade, though.
Yeah.
And I think if you're not, if this is a quarterback you're looking at taking in the second round, you may not be sold enough on him to make that kind of a move. If you were, you'd be looking at him at number 3.
Right.
So I think the Cardinals are a candidate to take Ty Simpson if he gets to them in the second round. I also think they're a candidate to trade back up into the tail end of the first round. I just feel like going from where they are in the second round all the way to 20 would be a pretty big jump.
I know we're playing a game of, musical chairs here, but there is some speculation about someone trying to trade up to 3 with Arizona to get Jeremiah Love. And if that happens, then Arizona, their picks start moving all over the place. You never know where their first round pick is.
I think if the Jets take David Bailey at 2 and you can trade up to 3 to get Jeremiah Love or Arvell Reese, then I think that pick becomes very valuable. And if Arizona doesn't want to draft one of those guys, I think they'd be taking calls.
Let me also say this. When Graziano said that, here's what jumped into my mind. I'm not an expert. I'm just a football fan. If I'm convicted about a quarterback, if I think this guy's going to be my quarterback of the future, then I don't care what it costs me to get him. And if I don't think he is, then I'm not taking him anyway. He can't be that appealing to me in the second round, but not late for 21.
Yeah, but if you think he's got the potential to be that, I mean, the Eagles took Jalen Hurts in the second round when they had Carson Wentz. They didn't know, but they thought he had the potential to be a starting franchise quarterback. He ends up being a Super Bowl MVP. That's a lot different than risking the 3rd overall pick on it, or even multiple picks, which is what you'd need to go back into the middle of the first round.
I'm with you. I wouldn't use the 3rd pick on him, but something else. Go ahead.
Greedy, your point to me is exactly why if I'm Pittsburgh, I got to strongly consider him at 21 because we don't know what Aaron Rodgers is going to do, but even if he was there, he's going to be 43 in December. You have Will Howard, an unproven 6th-round pick, and Mason Rudolph, who's a very competent backup. Ty Simpson has a chance to be a good star in the NFL. Until you have one, as D. Wood said, guys, go get Ty Simpson. You have a defense that's good, albeit aging, but if I'm Pittsburgh at 21, I have to take a long look at Ty Simpson.
And quickly, to finish it up, D. Wood, you know the Jets better than anybody. Should the Jets take him?
No, I think just to me, it's all about 2027. They build the infrastructure to get ready for the quarterback in 2027.
Okay, so that's what D. Wood thinks. All this will play itself out a week from tonight, and we have much more on the draft as we draft, and I've got my football crew around me. D. Wood, let's talk about what we're looking to see. Give me one thing that you're looking for, Damien Woody, in round one.
Yeah, how about the Jets trading up to go get one of those elite wide receivers? The Jets have 4 picks in the top 44. They have plenty of ammo to go out there and go get, whether it's a Carnell Tate, Jordan Tyson. How about the Jets moving up and going up and getting their guy?
All right, to be clear, the Jets have the 2nd pick in this draft. The overwhelming expectation is they'll take a defensive pass rusher. But then D. Wood is talking about moving up from 16 to try and get one of the elite playmakers in this draft. How do you like it?
I think we could do better. I think we take the pass rusher at 2. We take a wide receiver at 16, then trade up at the bottom of the first to get the quarterback. So to me, there's a wide receiver should be there at 16. So we could do even better.
Okay, now you're singing my song.
Yes.
So now you're talking about the Jets not just moving up for the you take like an Omar Cooper or someone like that, and then actually make the move for the quarterback.
Yeah, and then next year, Greedy, imagine when Ty Simpson works out, you have 3 first-round picks in the 2027 draft. With all these teams that'll need quarterbacks, you could turn those 3 first-round picks into a lot of other opportunities. So to me, they're in a great position.
I'm getting excited about all of that. What do you make of this, Graziano? All this wheeling and dealing at the top of the first round.
That would come down to how they feel about Ty Simpson. If they do think he's the guy for the future, or even potentially, then that move makes sense. So I think you might see it. Like, they have so many picks in this year's draft and again in next year's draft, especially high picks next year. They could make a move to go up from 16 to get the receiver they like, but that would probably signal that they're not interested in making another trade at the end of the round.
I wish you could all see the look on our stage manager, Brandon's face, as I roll around back here. He lives for me to be in the right spot. He's extremely unhappy with me right now.
He does.
I'm going to hear. There he is.
Unhappy.
Look
Yeah.
at Brandon. I'm going to hear about it in the next break.
He's not mad. He's just disappointed.
Graziano, what are you looking for on day one of the draft, a week from tonight?
I want to see the Chiefs do the same thing as Damien wants to see the Jets do, which is get an offensive playmaker for Patrick Mahomes. I do think there's a chance they lean toward edge rusher if one is there, but imagine Patrick Mahomes with someone like a Jordan Tyson, assuming he can get and stay healthy, or Kenyon Sadiq, the dynamic tight end from Oregon. Wouldn't this be an incredible replacement for Travis Kelce when he ultimately decides to move on, and a guy that you could use in the meantime to help you score some?
Why are you not shaking your head at that, Mike T, when it's so obviously a good thought?
Yeah, I like those players, but I love the fact that I want them to draft a corner. I just think it's really hard to lose 3 corners, 2 really good starters in Jalen Watson, Trent McDuffie, and I think that's an urgent need for the Chiefs.
But if the top corners are gone by 9, right? Like, does that make sense when you're also picking 29 and you're also picking 40? I think that may be the way the Chiefs are looking at this.
The top corners I think there's really one. There's Mansour Delane.
There's one.
This guy Jermod McCoy is another, but he's got injury
we don't know
concerns.
for sure, right?
I think
Didn't play
9 would be
last year.
very rich for him. So we'll see. If Mansour Delane is on the board, you're saying the Chiefs should take him.
Yes, because I think you could cover up offensive deficiencies. I don't think you could cover up corner needs.
All right, give me one. Sorry.
I think the Chiefs are sick of trying to cover up their offensive deficiencies with defense the last couple of years.
And Patrick Mahomes is yelling and screaming, get me a playmaker.
Exactly.
Mike T, give me something you want to see a week from tonight.
Jeremiah Love falling to 7 to the Washington Commanders with a healthy Jaden Daniels. 2 years ago, Jaden Daniels was on the precipice of being a superstar. Pair him with arguably the best player in the draft, Greeny. I don't know if he gets to 7, but could you imagine a backfield for the next decade of Jaden Daniels with Jeremiah Love? I think that would be an ideal situation for the Commanders.
D, what I was looking at your notes. You think that's a perfect fit, yes?
Absolutely. Listen, the RPO game last year went down because Jaden Daniels was hurt. But could you imagine a backfield with Jaden Daniels and Jordan Love in the backfield? That would be absolutely terrifying. And here's why I like it so much, because the Washington Commanders have been investing resources into their offensive line. It doesn't make sense for me, like Jeremiah Love, to go to the Titans, because I don't think the Titans' offensive line is all that great. But for Washington, it makes a lot more sense, and I would love that move.
Let me put this in the form of a question, though, Dan. I believe if the Commanders are going to get Jeremiah Love in this draft, they're going to have to trade up to do it.
It sounds like there's a chance Jeremiah Love could go earlier than 7. There's a couple teams in front that seem interested, and also it might be a guy that I know teams don't like to trade up for running backs, but teams love this player, and it's a thin draft.
Yes, there's a lot of love for Love in this NFL draft, and we are just getting rolling.